Hey everybody, welcome to another video. In this one I'm going to be showing you how to use TOCA to racing cars with the ability to go into HD and several fixes that can be run with the patch. So if you guys are interested in this, go ahead and open up your browser. We're going to go to two websites, and then one is optional. So let's go here to the TOCA 2 Touring Cars Silent Patch page. We're going to scroll down here. We're going to click on this part right here, so download that file. Then we're going to head over to this site here, and we're going to search for TOCA 2 Touring Cars, and we're going to download this patch right here. Now the disk you have may or may not have this patch already inside it, but just to play it safe, in case your disk doesn't, just go ahead and download the patch from right here. Put that in your downloads folder. Then this one here is optional. You can use this if you want to go ahead and add scan lines to it. So if you need this one, go ahead and download from right here, DigiVoodoo version 2.8 or 2.84.1. Download that. Once you have all those files, you can go ahead and close the browser out. Navigate preferably to the folder where you're going to install the game, so have that on your right or left side. And then open up the window that has the files we just downloaded. That way you'll have two windows. So go ahead and mount your disk here. So we're going to go to that. We're going to simply just double click on Setup Execute. That should launch this. Click on OK. And it's telling me that mine is already on here. So I'm just going to go ahead and tell it to go ahead forward and get that done. So we're going to tell it to go to the folder that we want. So I got one pre-created, so I'm going to put that in here. We're going to go next. And you want to do a full install, so click on next. You don't need that DirectX, and you don't need this either. So we'll go ahead and let that finish up, and then we'll continue with the other two files. So this process is relatively quick here. It'll vary depending on your system. Once that is done, we can go ahead and choose next on here. You could tell it no or yes to the desktop shortcut. It's telling you need to restart the computer, but you do not. Just go ahead and choose no and click finish. Then once that's done, you should see your files over here on the right side for the folder you created. So now what we're going to do is extract these to a separate folder. And we're going to go ahead and do the patch first. So just double click on that. And we're going to double click on patch execute. You don't need the direct play, so just click no. And it should give you that message that it has been patched to 4.1. Once that is done, we're going to go back into the silent patch. We're going to take this file here, copy the folder, and just paste it right over the one that's there already. And you should see these extra files on here. So once that is done, the game should launch. We're going to go ahead and launch it from here, just in case you don't want to use the DigiVoodoo. And we'll go ahead and verify that you can now do the the higher definition resolutions on here. So we're going to double click. Now this game you cannot launch directly from these. You have to launch it through the launcher.exe. So click on that, go to setup, and you'll notice on here it should see your your video card on there. You don't need to calibrate the controller from there, so just hit OK, and now you can hit play, and it should start up for you in a second or two. You should be able to see the video, so just go ahead and hit enter to bypass that. We'll go into the menu to make sure the high res resolutions are available. So just go here to game options. You can play around with your sound setup here. The graphics are right here, so you want to more than likely just put that on high. Drawing distance, go ahead and max that out. Resolution, you should be able to go past 1600 now. As you can see, there we are. So you can actually, might as well go all the way up to 4K. But for the video, we're going to do 1920 by 1080. And, choose that, whatever your resolution the computer can handle. I like to put everything on here. I would choose digital for the counter. You can set it to whatever you want. Go here where it says more, so we're going to put everything so we can get the best graphics out of this. Go ahead and check everything to on. The mirrors, you want to go ahead turn that on. You can pick whatever size mirror you want, small or large. And I like to set the mirror in the center. You can go ahead and pick whatever spot you want. And details, I set that to highest. Special effects, we're gonna go here, make sure everything is on. Advanced. We want to keep low res textures off because we want the game to look as good as possible. These last two, leave them on. Now you can go ahead and exit back to the beginning of the game. We're gonna control the setup. When you do the control, preferably if you have an analog joystick, you want to pick that option. So go ahead and hit controller 1. Then over here we're gonna navigate to analog. If you have digital, of course that's the only one you can use. I like to set the sensitivity to low. So go ahead and configure your controller and just hit the appropriate keys. Before you do that, you actually have to calibrate. So let's go ahead and jump back out of here. We'll go back to controls. We'll pick analog and we'll go calibrate. And then just go ahead and turn all your axes, in every which way so they calibrate to the center. Do the same thing with your left and right triggers. And you should see everything center out there for you right here. Once that's done, you can go ahead and hit enter. Now you can configure the controller. So just go ahead and pick what you want. There we go. Once that's set, you should be able to launch the game. We'll just verify that here real quick. And then in a second, I'll go ahead to the DG Voodoo setup for the people that want to use scan lines. And then there, just go ahead and hit continue super quick so you can launch it. Make sure that everything's working correctly. If I go to the cameras, it's good. Rear view. All right, so you can see everything's working correctly. So for you that just want the game to look just like it did now, you don't need the DG Voodoo. If you want to go ahead and use DG Voodoo, stick around. I'm going to show you how to set that up. So just go to the folder that has the DG Voodoo files, copy those, and you're going to paste that in the folder that has the game. We're going to go into the MS folder. Some of you may already know how to do this. If you do, you can just download the file and work on it yourself. You're going to extract those to the folder. We're going to go ahead and right click on this. You always want to run this in administrator mode. Click apply. I'm going to launch that. And on here, you always want to do best available one, especially if you have a higher end graphic card and you leave that. Sometimes you'll see like white graphics instead of the detailed ones. So if you have a card that can handle direct, 3D12, go ahead and pick that on here. This is the purpose for the scan lines. You can click on this one here. You can go ahead and apply. You can change resolutions also from here. So we'll go ahead and match with the one we were using in the game. We can click apply. You can leave that on to verify it launches. I've already gotten to the point where I know it works if I see the scan lines. So once you've done all that, you can choose to either leave VSync forced or off, depending on your preferences. Once you've done that, we should be able to launch the game. And let me go ahead and turn that on just for you guys to see the logo on there. Once you've launched it one time and you verified it works, you can also, launch this again and uncheck that so you don't see that logo come out every single time. So there's the logo, and you can see the scan lines on there. I'll just go ahead and jump real quick to the beginning of the race and jump back out so you guys could notice the scan lines. And then what I'm also going to do, for those of you that are interested, I'm going to go ahead and just show you a couple of ways you can activate anti-aliasing and not do it through DG Voodoo, because that causes graphical issues. So as you can see, the game does have scan lines on now. So we're going to go ahead and jump out of there. And for the users that have an AMD card, this will be easier for you to follow. If you have NVIDIA, the process is more or less the same. Obviously, the menu is just going to look different. So for AMD, just right click, open up the Adrenaline launcher here. We're going to go through this little spot here. We're going to add a game. So remember, with this one, you need to launch it through the actual launcher and not the TOCA 2 executable. So go into your game folder here. We're going to click on launcher, execute, open, and then we're going to find that on here. So this is it right here. Click on that one time. So this is the one which we want to change to get it to activate the anti-lacing and so forth. So we're going to go to advanced. We're going to scroll down right here, bring that menu down, override application settings. I like to set mine to here right there, 8 super sampling. And again, this is all your preference, but this is preferable over trying to do this through DG Voodoo, because most of the time it will create a graphical effects, especially around text or things of that nature, or you get the lines on there. So go ahead and activate these features through your video card, whether it's ATI Radeon or Ryzen, whatever you have. You just launch it through your specific manufacturer control panel here. So we've got that at 16. Textured fidelity quality, we're going to do that to high. So basically we're going to make the game look as good as it can. Once that's all done, we can go ahead and launch the game again. And the graphics should look even smoother around the edges now. All right, so that is it. As you can see, it does look sharper around, or not sharper, smoother on the edges. So we are all done with this video. If you guys can go ahead and make use of that, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions on it, you can also post them in the comment section. If you haven't subscribed, please do so, and we will catch you guys on the next video. Have a great day.